Well, let's hope this microphone is working. Hot mic. Uh, it's not showing any green bars. Not showing any green bars. So it's going to be hit or miss whether we have audio. But I did discover why with Prism Live Studio, which is basically the streaming platform for dummies, why Prism Live Studio kicked my ass yesterday. It wasn't anything that I was doing wrong, believe it or not. You know, I told you I bought the little small. I thought I had the other one over here. The small form factor computer, the little rocket ships, strictly to use for this. Nothing else. They don't have anything else downloaded in them except Google. Yeah, do I have? Yeah, Google Chrome and YouTube. So yesterday, after doing research, I found this Prism Studio Live. That's what the software is called. Prism Studio Live. And reading through it and then watching the tutorial, I'm like, it is streaming software for dummies. So I downloaded it and went through. Matter of fact, there's several settings that you have to do in each part of the software. You have the general, which is basically your location, email, couple other things. Then you go into the was it audio first? No. It goes general, then video. You go in, and every time he would click down to the next setting item, I would listen, stop, roll it back, listen again, watch what he's doing on screen, and then do the same exact thing in my software. I don't know if this, for some reason, it isn't sounding like I'm probably blowing everybody away, but there's no audio bars on the. So I commenced to set everything up. I go through the only thing I didn't set up, there was a thing called hotkeys. I don't need, because I'm not gaming. The hotkeys are used for gaming. So I start to do a video, and there's a latency on the screen. I'd move my hand, and then 2 seconds later, my hand would move. So I went in and changed this and changed that, and I did 4 different experimental videos. Still no luck. So I read through everything in the software again this morning, step by step, and there were 4 tutorials. So I watched all 4 of these guys that were doing the tutorials showing you how to set up Prism. No matter what I did, because I deleted everything after I experimented, because I'm not going to have a shitload of goofy shit, like last night. I had, experiment 1 through 4 on Facebook. So I ended up, as soon as I saw it still wasn't working, I just deleted everything. So luckily, they have a help section, a contact email for Prism. So I wrote them an email and I explained everything that was happening. No matter what modification I did. So I get an email back, and the guy says, "Give me all the information on your computer." So I tell him, it's a Lenovo M72E, small form factor, 8 gigs of RAM, which basically, when I checked, I still had like 7.9 gigs of RAM and a terabyte hard disk drive, and what programs I had. Well, I get an email back, and it says, "You don't have a fast enough graphics card in your computer." Okay. Well, I showed you once before, but the computer's smaller than this book. Matter of fact, this is my new reading material. Mel Brooks, All About Me. That's my new reading material. But the computer is smaller than this book. Matter of fact, let me see how many pages I've got to read here. Let me see how many pages I got to read. Come on. Come on. One more. $460 pages. I'll do this in like 2 nights, because once I get started, I can't stop. I bought the actual approved autobiography of Steve Jobs. That was like 700 pages. I did that in 2.5 evenings, laying in bed. Because if a book really catches my interest, I just keep going and going and going. Matter of fact, I bought every book that Joan Rivers ever wrote. I was a big Joan Rivers fan. Still am, but unfortunately, Joan's no longer around. Most of her books I read in 1.5 evenings because they're right around 275, 300 pages max. But I'm off the subject, like usual. So at the end of the email, which really amazed me, there was a phone number from this technician. He says, call this number, ask for tech support, and then when tech support answers, tell them you want technician 5. So I make the phone call, and the guy was really, really nice, extremely helpful. He wasn't sure if I could physically swap out the graphics card in this little computer. Some are built into the unit and some you can swap out. If not, I can't use this little, I got it specifically for this usage only. But if I can't swap out the graphics card, I'm basically going to have to swap computers because my main desktop monitor that I've got, I've got this 45-inch curved, beautiful monitor. But in order to run, I told him I'm not a gamer, but in order to run like my YouTube videos and that, he told me I needed a more advanced graphics card. So I wrote the seller, and he shipped me an AMD. I don't know, it's a rocket of a graphics card. He told me it's more than what I need, but he only had one left, and basically it was kind of laying around. He gave me a hell of a deal on it. So what I'm going to have to do basically is delete all the programs and apps that I have downloaded into that, put all that into my little baby computer, which has more than enough, because like I say, I'm not running graphics and everything, so it has more than enough memory and hard drive for what. But at least I found out that the dummy wasn't doing anything wrong. It was actually the computer. That's why we're on the old YouTube and I'm not on Prism. So hopefully tomorrow I can get that done. There's no rush. It's not like this is some big major production that I got to jump right on it. And if I'm going to run into the same problem in Studio A. Although the computer that's over in Studio A, I have to check. I'm not sure. It might have a faster graphics card. If not, the guy that I bought the computer from told me he's got graphics cards for every computer and basically what step I would need. So that's why everything was screwy yesterday. It wasn't just goofy grumpy here. And tomorrow I should possibly have the other Yeti microphone and swing arm, although I don't need another. I'll just put that as a spare. And the light, the video light, studio light, and another Logitech camera just like this one. Same thing, same identical. So I'll have a backup. Because over in Studio A, I've got that camera that's got the built-in LED light, although that camera's working fine. But I found out that these knockoff cameras with the LED lights in them, they're not reliable. So my bucket list item for Studio A is going to be a Logitech 4K streaming video camera with LED. But I can't wait to experiment with that. Yeah, I've got that bigger light, but it's too bright for this part of the studio. The other one is that's coming. That's about like that. Oh, I think I showed you this once before. Let me get it out. Tomorrow, we're going to experiment with this. The Blue Yeti Snowball microphone. We're going to experiment with that. Isn't that cool? That should look neat hanging on here. The only thing is this doesn't have any controls. It doesn't have anywhere to plug in a headset. So this is going to be interesting. But this was another gift from. It's used. This one isn't brand new. This is used. My buddy had it. Didn't like it. Not so much for the performance. He said it was like talking into a softball. I think it's kind of cool. I wish it lit up. Let me put it under the desk here. I don't understand that stupid tripod. That little tripod's only about that high. Must be for like using with a laptop, I guess. Although it will mount on the arm. And another follow-up to yesterday. Inconsiderate people. I had to run up and get a few items from Save-A-Lot. And I timed it just right. The meat manager was doing markdowns. Well, there was this woman looking at all the markdown steaks. But instead of taking a pack and then setting it back down, she'd look at it and wing it and look at another one and just toss it. As a matter of fact, the steaks were going over into the pork section. She was just winging them. Don't want this bucket. Don't want this bucket. And I'm standing there watching her. Now you'd think that she would have gotten embarrassed. No. So when she went down to the pork and the chicken section, I gathered all these packs of steaks and I was stacking them back on the rack. And she had the nerve to give me a fucking dirty look. Well, you were the fucking dumbass that was throwing shit all over the place. Although I got some bargains today. I got some bargains. Thin cut. They're thin cut, which I love. Ribeye steaks. Now, the normal price for a 2-pack was $12. $3.60. I got me 8 steaks. I got me 4 2-packs. I'm going to be in rib steaks until they're up to my eyes. And she wasn't grabbing any of them. I don't. Matter of fact, I didn't see her. She got 1 package of ground meat. And I didn't pay attention to see if she got any pork or chicken. But, to throw these steaks all over the place and not buy any. So, hopefully, I'm not blasting everybody out of their armchairs. But when I took this mic, I took it off the arm because I'm doing, different microphone tests. And I screwed the volume control up. So, if it's too loud, sorry. And with that, Grumpy will talk to you tomorrow. Maybe I'll have my Prism Studio because I want to use that one background. I think it's cool. Talk to you tomorrow, boys and girls. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. See you. Bye.